Two guys either side of 50 with one dream to achieve middle-aged sporting glory. This is the Missing Links Golf Show. Welcome back, pilgrims, to episode 40 of the Missing Links Golf Show. I'm Steve Hinks, joined by Andy Walker. 40 episodes, Andy Walker. We don't have a birthday cake or anything.
No, we don't, but we've still got to remember we've got to raise the bat at 50. So another 10 episodes.
That's gonna creep up pretty fast.
We're going to have a cricket bat somewhere.
Yeah.
In the room when we hit 50. So yeah, definitely raising the bat at 50. I mean, 40. It's 40. Sort of It's almost there, but not quite.
Yeah, I mean 40 is the new 30 anyway, so really, what does it matter?
I thought 50 was the new 30.
It could be. It's hard to know, but look, what an episode it was last time, which is probably going to be the best part of a week apart for the pilgrims, but for us it's only about 48 hours because we're pretty much going back to back. But
we are.
But that was a solid conversation about the Open Championship, still reeling after what a fantastic tournament that was.
Yeah, and look, I still think I've looked at some stats around the sort of the year that Xander Schauffele's had, and there was I saw a graphic on Facebook which has Scotty Scheffler's year and Xander Schauffele's year, and it goes through obviously 2 majors to 1, goes through wins, PGA Tour wins, goes through money, top 10s and all the rest, and Scotty Scheffler has got Xander on just about every stat with the exception of the major championship, having 2 majors, and the question is who's had the better year, and in my opinion, I guess it depends. It depends how you're going to rate yourself. But most great golfers rate themselves on how many majors they win.
Of course, it's majors. Absolutely.
So, yeah, it was quite interesting that you just look through those stats, and I mean Scheffler's won an enormous amount of money this year. It's like 28 million or something he's won so far this year.
Xander's at about 15 or 16 or something, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I read somewhere that Scotty Scheffler's caddy is actually close to the top of the money list.
Well, that was a bit like back in some time ago when Tiger Woods was at his peak and Steve Williams, when he was the caddy, was the highest paid New Zealand sportsman.
Yeah. It's frightening, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Well, that is certainly something off the back of that, and there hasn't been a lot of time lapse between that episode and when we're recording this one. However, there is a little bit in the mailbox for the Voice of the Pilgrims, Andy Walker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we haven't done Voice of the Pilgrims.
For a little while. There's a fair bit sitting there, which we won't necessarily have time to get to all of it right now. There have been a few messages actually of support for yourself getting through the injury.
Oh, really?
Bit of heartbroken for Andy Walker, bit of can't believe it.
I feel as though I'm actually on the up and up. I mean, because on Monday when we recorded the Open review, I just had a workout in the morning and I'd hit a few balls into the net in the high performance center, and I sort of felt as though the sternum wasn't that good, but I actually think it may have been a bit of soreness because I did chest. One of the body sort of areas I did was chest, and I feel it may have been a little bit of soreness from actually not having done chest for a while.
Interesting.
And because I have hit a few more balls in the high performance center over the last couple of days, and it actually feels okay. So, I didn't get the same level of soreness as what I did on Monday. I can still feel it a little bit, but I think it's definitely improved.
This is the best part of a week remaining in the month of July.
I'm not going to get a competition round in July. It's a default. It's a -1.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
just as I said, and we've been over this before. My focus is September.
Okay.
That's my whole thing.
Okay. It's wise. I just thought I'd try and throw that one out there and just see how you responded. But you're sticking to your guns, and I like it. It's good because you've got to play the long game here, Andy Walker. So with that in mind, we're obviously not going to be talking about any of your rounds of golf tonight.
No, we are not.
So spoiler alert early in the show. But I do have a round that we're going to talk about, and we, of course, as a result of that, then also need to debrief the yearly championship and give the Pilgrims an update on the standings at the end of July. Probably
getting
fair
close. I think it's going to be.
Yeah, probably fair to say I'm going to take out July in what can only be described as a walkover. But we'll get to that. We will get to that all in due course.
A walkover or a whitewash?
I would say it's a walkover. I think is the technical term. I think a whitewash would be where we've, say you had a 3-game series and I've won all 3 and you've not got on the board. I think that would be a whitewash. But a walkover is really where it's a no contest.
Right.
It's my understanding.
So does that mean,
if you have a different view, please let us know.
So does that mean in the yearly championship from like February through till May, it was a whitewash? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Although, because that was not the whole contest, you can't necessarily call it a whitewash because it would have to be the whole contest. For example, State of Origin going 3-0, whitewash.
Yep.
Ashes series going 5-0. Which is
whitewash.
Which is the likely outcome for the next Ashes series. Whitewash. Well, to all of our Pilgrims in the UK, we can't wait for the Ashes. Send us your best.
Well, apparently the style of cricket that England's playing at the moment will never be forgotten.
Oh, it will forever live in the memories of those that were fortunate enough to witness it, I think is the quote. Some of your best, Ben Stokes.
Where are they in the World Test Championship?
I feel like they're quite a long way down the list, Andy Walker. I do.
I don't mean to laugh, but
yeah, you do. You absolutely do. There's nothing better.
The old enemy.
There is nothing better from an Australian's point of view than beating the English in the Ashes. It's a little bit like beating your older sibling.
Exactly.
We absolutely love it. But Voice of the Pilgrims. There are some interesting ones here that I'm going to read out to you, Andy. So tell me what you think. First one says, "Hi guys." It's a nice way to start. It says, "Hi guys. Just letting you know I'll be captaining once again in 2025 at Bethpage." This is from Luke from England.
Nice.
One can only imagine Luke Donald. Congratulations. That answers that question that I think we were asking in the previous episode.
Friend of the show, Luke Donald?
Oh, obviously friend of the show. Absolutely. Nice guy too. Did a great job leading the European team in the last Ryder Cup. I was a big fan. Also,
look, I feel as though the European team just seemed to have that team culture. They've really nailed it over the last probably the last sort of 10, 15 years, maybe even longer.
They certainly did well. They did. They went from Mollywood to Fleetwood Mac, and I think they're definitely winning the pairs nicknames competition. There's no doubting that. The next one, another one I think you'll enjoy, Andy Walker. And this one's very simple, and it just says, "I'm a big fan of you too, Andy," as in not the band, as in you as well. And that is from Xander from San Diego.
Nice.
Also friend of the show.
So he obviously, knows that, similar vein to Adam Scott, both ball strikers, both using aim point, both using a broomstick. So that's obviously where he's got that comparison. So he must be a big fan of Adam Scott as well.
Oh, I think, they get on pretty well. Anyway, it's nice. It's nice that Xander was obviously listening to our recap on the Masters. So good on you, Xander. Welcome to the caravan as a pilgrim. It's nice to have you on board. So good work. The last one, fair to say, Andy Walker, slightly less flattering.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We obviously don't please everyone. We press a few buttons here and there. And it would appear that we have in this one. And it starts like this. It starts, you guys are clowns.
So it's not something we didn't know already.
It's straight to the point. Goes on, and I think you'll enjoy this. It goes on and it says, this is seriously the worst rugby league podcast ever.
Is it a rugby league podcast?
That was from, wait for it, Billy from Brisbane.
Ah, right. Good one.
Yes.
Well, Billy.
Yeah. Billy Slater perhaps getting on board the caravan. Billy, I hate to burst your bubble, champion, but it's not a rugby league podcast, even though we don't mind a bit of a chat about footy every now and then. It's very much a golf podcast. So
we do bring in a couple of sports in. We talk about cricket and we talk about the league, and I'm not sure what else have we talked about. We've brought in poker. We've brought in with Yevgeny Kafelnikov.
Yevgeny, yeah. I don't know. I mean, if there's any other sports that pilgrims want to hear about, I'm certainly open to wide-ranging discussions. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we've got the Olympics coming up, so that's going to be obviously a smorgasbord of sports to talk about.
I did read somewhere, I forget where it was. It wasn't on socials. I think it was just on one of the news sites that there's an AI predictor. They've for
the medal tally.
All the results of all the potential results of where the various sports people are in the world rankings, and they reckon that Australia's going to have their best Olympics. I think it's in the last 40 years or the last 50 years. There's going to be about 15 gold and I think 35 medals in total. So go Aussie.
I did see that, and it got me thinking. Really, do you need artificial intelligence on that, or is that not just based on qualifying times and world rankings? Is that not just a
artificial intelligence
package
on for your golf swing? I mean.
Well, it's funny you say that because my Callaway Apex irons apparently have artificial intelligence in the design of the face in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. Nice. I don't understand it. Anyhow, moving on. What are we here to talk about today, Andy Walker? There's a round of golf to go through. There is.
There are only one, of course.
Yeah.
There's only one really been played.
That's right. So,
and when did you? Was it last weekend or the weekend before?
It was last weekend. Weekend just gone. Yep.
Of course, I mean, I've got the Golf Australia app up at the moment, and I can't actually see a round of golf there. The last round of golf that I can see is the 6th of July. So I actually do question whether this round of golf actually happened.
It's a good question. And it is a very good question. I can tell you this. It did happen. I've got the scorecard that I can send to you to prove it, which I'm happy to do after we run through the round because I don't want to give all the surprises away just yet. But strangely, it did not upload into the Golf Australia handicapping system.
No.
I wonder if that was something to do with the CrowdStrike global IT outage that happened on Australian time late in the Friday afternoon before the round of golf was played on the Saturday. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Potentially.
I'm guessing. But I spoke to other players at the club that played in the same competition. Also, their rounds had not been uploaded into the system. So I don't know. The results sheet is there at the club. The information is on the members portal, but it has not made its way to Golf Australia. So this is controversial.
Yeah. Well, has there been? Let me just have a look at a few others that I follow. Oh yeah, there's others that have been posted. Actually, round of golf today. I can see Ted from Mollymook, who I follow on the handicap. His handicap index. He's had a round of golf today. 31 points.
That's not bad. 31 points is a good score.
Playing off 10,
31,
15 over.
31 points off 10. It's not a bad score.
I was actually talking to Ted from Monmouth the other day, and he did break his age again, which it just seems to be almost a weekly occurrence for him.
Yes. It's good effort.
Well, I mean, we're not here to talk about Ted from Monmouth, are we? We're here to talk about...
No, we're not. We're not. So I might set the scene, Andy Walker, if you don't mind. We might set the scene. I did get the microphone out before heading to the course on Saturday morning, and just recorded a couple of thoughts about that. So if you like, I'm happy to jump to that recording now, and you can see what you think.
Let's do it.
All right, strap in. Well, it's Saturday morning. It's a bit before 11. I'm about to head to the course for today's round. Today's round is a Stableford event. It's a 4-ball best ball, so a pairs event, but also with individual in conjunction. So that's exciting. Downside today, it is cold. It's also very windy, which is a little bit of a concern. There have been some showers earlier this morning. The ground's pretty wet and pretty soft, so look, hopefully the rain stays away, because that could get quite unpleasant if it's cold, wet and windy. If it's just cold and windy, I guess we can deal. But yeah, not ideal. So it might be an interesting one out there today. We'll see how we go. And Pilgrims, I have to admit, I'm feeling a bit nervous. This is unexpected, but I am actually feeling more nerves than normal before this round. So that's not something that I thought was going to happen. But just, I guess, a bit of background. We're starting on 10 today instead of on 1. So we're booked in to tee off on the 10th. That was actually my call, is booking in the group. And I'll be honest, it was actually about, I feel like I have to face the demons from the last round. After what happened on 12, 13 and 14 in the last round, I feel like I've got to get in there and not leave it till the second half of the round. So that could be adding to the feelings of nerves. I think it probably is. It is, as I said, it's unexpected, but I think, trying to work through that with all the lessons we learned, I'm just going to have to accept that they are there, accept that they are real, that they're a feeling, but they don't mean anything more than that. Being nervous just means you're doing something that you care about. So we'll focus on that. We'll focus on the positives. We'll focus on the process and not get too stuck on those feelings, and certainly not try and fight them. So my aim is to accept that that's how I'm feeling, focus on the process and try and put a good swing on it. And I'm excited to take on these holes that gave me a beating last time around. So let's see how we go. Talk to you soon. Thoughts?
Nervous.
I
thought you were going to say that you were nervous because, of all the pressure that I've put on you in July.
No, that wasn't top of the list. No, but yeah, it was quite interesting. And it was one of those things when I was booking the round in, generally I like to play off 1 because that's just how the course is designed, right? Like you play 1 to 18. The rest of the regulars in the group have a tendency to want to play off 10.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And the reason for that is up the right-hand side of the first hole is out of bounds all the way. So for the other guys who are all right-handed, and the potential for losing one out to the right is real, they kind of like to avoid that tee shot for as long as possible. I personally think, and have always expressed my doubts about that strategy, because playing off 10, you play the 10th, and then you play the 11th, which is a par 3, and then you go straight into the run of 12, 13, 14, which are 3 of the tougher holes, with water, out of bounds, water off the tee on those 3. So I've always tried to avoid that. So when I was booking the group in, to make that decision, it was quite interesting, because I was ordinarily going to go to the first tee time. And then I kind of went, I just want to have a crack at these holes again and get it out of the way.
Mm.
have a shot at redemption and maybe open up, release the pressure for the rest of the round rather than playing the front nine, kind of thinking about what's going to happen when I make the turn.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
So
never
you
had that before.
effectively, fallen off the horse and you just want to get straight back on again and
Pretty much.
away you go. Yeah.
Pretty much that was it, I think, really. But then that was fine. So I thought, yep, I'll do that. Made the booking. Then it was, when I was getting ready to leave for the course, kind of going, feeling a bit tight,
What?
And the other thing which I hadn't anticipated is the wind was up. It was
right.
It was at least a 2-club wind, and we'll talk about some of the club selections for some of the holes that will make sense of that. So it was a tough day. It was a tough day. So, do you want to hear how it went? Or shall we just leave it there?
No, I think the point of this this episode is actually to review the round. So I think
so we need to go through it.
It's at some point, we've got to be outcome focused, not just process focused.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. All right. So we teed off on 10. Stood up on 10. 10 is slight dogleg left par 4. And there was a bit of a cross breeze blowing towards the left where you don't want to lose it because that would go into the trees and block you out from getting to the green. Anyway, smoked a drive, which was fantastic, straight up the middle. Really good way to get the round underway, ease the tension, baby. And then hit a wedge just short of the green. And it was quite soft. It was probably about, I would say about, I don't know, 15 foot or so short of the front edge of the green. But I didn't really want to play a chip off the ground because it was quite puddingy, quite easy to dig the leading edge in. So I hit the putter, probably hit it a little harder than I needed to get through the soft fringe and ran it about another 12 to 15 feet past the hole. So the comeback putt was big, sweeping left to righter. Andy Walker absolutely binned it for a par.
Nice.
So that was a good way to start. So went to 11, par 3, which was par 3 about 165 metres, big cross breeze. Absolutely fatted the life out of my tee shot. Didn't quite get up and down, so made bogey. So I was 1 over after 2. And then we move into the 3 holes. Now, just for recap, the last round, I went sextuple bogey, double. So what's that? That's 14 over, something like that. No, it's not. It's 10 over. It's 10 over in 3 holes. So 6, 2 and 2, 10. So that was my target to beat.
I reckon you're a pretty good chance.
Look, anything's possible because, again, big cross breeze blowing towards the lake on 12, blowing towards the lake. So last time when I played this hole, I kind of went, aimed up the right edge of the fairway, little baby cut back to the middle, which overcut and missed the middle and missed the edge and found the water. So I thought, Andy Walker, not today. This is not going to happen today. So I stepped up and I absolutely smoked one straight over the trees out onto 13.
Nice.
And took the water completely out of play.
Yep.
Mind you, it did clip a tree and kind of dropped down a little bit, but it was out on 13.
Safety first.
Now, your options at this point is to kind of punch back through the trees towards the fairway.
You've got to go down 13, though. That's surely an easier shot from
straight
the
down
other side.
Straight down 13. No issues with that. 5 wood at the 13th tee.
Yeah.
Kept it well away from everything. And then I had a couple of trees, and there's those trees between 13th tee and the 12th green.
They're quite tall too.
They
I
are
had a few
quite tall.
Issues with those during the Macquarie Cup.
They are quite tall. Managed to get a pitching wedge over them and onto the green in regulation, 2-putt par, Andy Walker.
Nice.
So that was
it's off to a good start for your improvement journey over those 3 holes.
Yeah, so that was quite good. I was fairly happy with that. I then stepped up on 13, OB up the left. So dutifully hit my drive nice and safely towards the tree line on the right. And happy to say, finally found the 12th fairway.
Nice. So you've hit the 13th fairway off the 12th.
On 12 and the 12th fairway
and then
on
decided
13.
you didn't want to miss out on the 12th fairway, so you
So I thought I'd play it.
Fairway
Yep.
on the 13th. Cool.
So, yeah, trees to get through and kind of into the wind at this point as well. Bit of a quartering wind off the left to come back over those trees. I had a gap though, Andy Walker, which I went for aggressively with a 6-iron, and I didn't get through.
So did you just completely miss the gap, or was it a missed club?
I missed the gap. I hit it flush, but it was a narrow gap and I missed it, and I also flushed the a branch of a tree and found myself about 30 metres forward, but still on the 12th fairway.
Yeah.
So that was good. And then, so then the next was an 8-iron over the tree, so a different gap this time and onto the green. And at that point was a 2-putt bogey. But that was okay. It was not too bad. Then we got up to 14. 14, remember, was the second hole where the ball went missing previous week. Wind pretty much a tailwind and then blowing slightly away from the lake, so it was okay to just aim up the centre of the fairway and rip one, which I did, Andy Walker, and it certainly travelled on the breeze. Went 270 metres.
Nice.
So left with a little flick wedge, little half sand wedge into the green, and again made par. So I'd gone around those 3 holes 9 shots better than last time.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty good outcome.
I was feeling good. I was feeling good at this point.
So at this stage, what, you're 2 over?
2 over, through 5.
Through 5, yeah.
Then we step up onto 15. Now, 15, long par 3. Not long, but long-ish. It's playing about 165 to 170 metres. So what's that work out at? 185-ish yards.
It's a little bit uphill, though.
Uphill, but tailwind. So usually on this hole, I'm hitting about a 5-iron.
Yep.
I hit an 8-iron on the green. 3-putt bogey.
Don't you love a 3-putt?
Yeah, I wasn't that upset with it, in fairness, because the pin was on the left. I hit the green right over on the right. And it was a down breeze putt, so judging the speed was almost impossible. I thought I got it right, but it just kept going and going and going.
It is quite a wide green, though.
It is,
as
so
well, isn't it?
It was probably a good 40-foot putt, so a 3-putt wasn't a disaster. And then par on the next 2, and then double bogeyed 18, unfortunately, so 5 over for the 9.
18's not your favourite hole, is it?
It's really not. In fairness, it's not. Yeah, and it was.
I mean, it is a tough hole.
It's a tough hole,
and
but
a
it was
tough green.
It was another fat tee shot, though. That's what it was. That's what caused it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not a 5-shotter though.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'll rephrase that. It shouldn't be a 5-shotter though.
No, it shouldn't be a 5-shotter. It shouldn't at all. So then we went on to 1 for the 10th hole. Went on to 1, sprayed my tee shot left, which was a little bit disappointing, but it's not the end of the world because it's out of bounds up the right. You've got the entire golf course to your left, so it stayed alive. Hit a decent recovery, and then a poor shot, a poor third, put me in the trees on the left, so the left of the bunker, and you're dead from there. You're just absolutely dead. So I made double. So I went double, which was not ideal. And the thought at that point occurred to me, snacking.
Okay. Yep. Did you actually take snacks?
I took a muesli bar.
Nice.
Yes. So I got that into me at that point because I thought, double on 9 and 10. Potentially that's about the time when things start to go awry through not eating. So snacking, which I thought was useful. I then went bogey, 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 but not bad ones. Like they're difficult-ish holes.
Yeah, they're not easy holes. 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So, look, I thought that was okay, particularly in the conditions that we were playing in, right? Like it wasn't easy out there. And then we played the fifth. Now, the fifth is the shorter par 3, which is usually about 135 to 140 metres. So you're looking at about 150 yards. Compared to 15, where I hit an 8-iron, on 5, I hit a 7-iron.
Yeah, right.
To the centre of the green. Simple 2-putt par, but that just shows the strength of the breeze, right?
Yep.
6 and 7 were bogeys. 7 in particular was disappointing. Got a bit unlucky. Hit a really good drive. Hit a 5-wood up to the green. There's 2 eucalypts just short left of the green, and it was the 5-wood was heading sort of near them, sort of on the inside half of them. It's obviously hit one of them and shot it right straight across the fairway, past the green, past the bunker, and under a tree on the right-hand side. So overhanging branches, bunker, pin tucked behind the bunker. All I could do was like punch it into the greenside bunker.
Yep.
Hit a good bunker shot to about 2 feet. Little bit of a curling putt, which I spent a long time looking at the read on, and got the read perfect, and left it 2 inches short from 2 feet, which was
that's frustrating,
somewhat disappointing. And then on 8, long par 3 down the hill, missed the green left, chipped on, and made up for my putt on the previous hole by draining about a 15-footer for par. So that was good. And 9, hit a good drive, good approach, nearly made the birdie putt, tap in par. So, look, finished off the stick with an 83.
Okay, so it's at 12 over?
Yep, 12 over, par 71. Playing off 7 for the day, so that was 31 points. And just a few observations, Andy Walker, of the day. So there were 174 people in the field.
Yep.
So it was quite a big field. Of the 174 players, only 13 players made 36 points or better.
Yeah, right. Okay. So what was the course rating then? What did it end up at?
They rated it at 70.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know, because I haven't seen the official rating because I haven't dropped it in Golf Australia. Yeah. But before the round, it was rated at 70 on the scorecard. So unless they've adjusted it for the weather, I don't know. Yeah. Only 13 players out of 174 actually shot their handicap on the day. So you can see it was tough.
Tough day.
Yeah. I mean, it was a genuine 2 to 3 club wind. It was cold. The ground was very soft. So, you would hit a drive, find your pitch mark on the fairway, and the ball would be a foot in front of it there. So 0 run out. You had to do everything in the air. So of that, my round actually was, out of the field of 174, the 23rd best round off the stick.
Okay.
So I was pretty happy with that. 48th overall on handicap. So not too bad. I think, there are a lot of good lessons learned out of it. I felt like I was better prepared for the weather. I had a thermal undershirt on, which made a difference.
Oh, nice. I actually don't have a thermal. I remember at one point I went down the snow and I got one, but that was a very, very long time ago, and I would have no idea where it is. But yeah, thermals. I don't really need thermals on the coast, but I guess, well, certainly if you go and play Orange again.
Well, that was the thing, right? Like, that experience.
You need your thermals then.
That experience really kind of made that obvious. I think the other things that came out of it was ball striking was again really solid, with the exception of a couple of mishits, like the 2 par 3s that I talked about, of hitting fat tee shots and coming up short. But broadly speaking, ball striking was solid, and I think that, we've talked about that a few times. I know we talked even about that last episode. That's been the area where I've had the most improvement, I think, in the last probably 4 months.
Yeah. But I mean, and we've talked about it before as well, is that, playing off 8 or 7 as you were on the weekend, hitting a couple of shots fat or not hitting it exactly the way you want, that's within, that dispersion range that's completely expected.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you do that and then you go, okay, well, that's an expectation that I've got to have and accept that at the time, and you just move on to the next shot.
And that's 100% right. And I think in fairness, like that's something that probably both of us have gotten a lot better at since learning the lessons that we have during this show and talking to, the likes of Josh Nichols, Michael Leonard, all the guys that we've been able to chat with about these sorts of things, that you kind of go, well, actually, I'm not going to hear everything perfectly. Like it's, not even Xander. Well, actually, maybe Xander. But
I'm going to say,
he's pretty close.
Well, for first 3 rounds, I mean, he was solid without being, phenomenal. Whereas that last round, I don't think he hit a bad shot in that last round. I watched a fair bit of it, and I mean, he probably did, but yeah, it was marginal.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, other things. I'm now absolutely on the snacking bandwagon, Andy Walker. I think that.
Yeah. I'd probably try a couple of different things. I usually don't do like a muesli bar or a grain. I usually try and make it a fruit. As I said, I love a banana.
I've got issues with bananas.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a puke reflex on bananas. It's bizarre. Okay. Yeah. So that's not going to work.
That's not good. No, I wouldn't do that.
Could do an apple or a mandarin or something like that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, not ideal as you're going down the back 9 to puke over a banana.
Oh, bananas. Ricky G. You remember Ricky G? In a previous workplace, used to deliberately leave banana skins in the bin in my office.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Talking about a random human, he was highly amusing.
Good fella.
Really good guy, but I can see him doing that.
Yep. So it's probably not going to be bananas, but it could be many other things. But anyway, nevertheless, that in itself helped. I felt like I could feel a difference. Now that might have been just mental, but I'd feel like I could feel a bit of a difference. Other things that I noticed was I was really very happy with my ability, and as per the recording at the beginning, to just accept the feelings that were going on and not allow that to come in to have an impact on how I played the first few holes.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it before, and I remember the story that you told about your young bloke, where you can turn nervousness into your superpower. That nervousness, rather than seeing it as a negative thing, to turn that around into a positive. I mean, everyone's going to be nervous. Well, the vast majority of people are going to be nervous when it's coming into something that they care about. Especially, on whether it be on the sporting field or a performance or a speech or something like that. Vast majority of people are going to be nervous. But if you can turn that into, whether it be an excitement or something that you're looking forward to, then it makes an enormous difference.
I actually felt like all that's true. And I felt one of the most effective things was to just acknowledge it and to go, yeah, it's okay. I don't have to tell myself, don't be silly, don't feel like that, any overly positive pep talk or all of those sorts of things. But to be able to say, it's okay. And the only reason that you feel like that is because you want to do well, and that feeling is not a predictor that things are going to go badly. Like that's just a feeling that you go, I want to do well. And obviously I'm a bit unsure because of what happened last time. So it's all completely normal, but like none of that means anything is going to happen today in any preordained way. So to kind of just accept that and let that go, that was really freeing. I don't think I would have been able to process it like that, and like previous to some of the conversations that we've had with a few of the guests that we've had on this show.
Yeah. And just as it works the other way, in that, you could go out and shoot a round of your life, and that doesn't necessarily mean that the next time you step out on a golf course, you're also going to play well. potentially could be the complete opposite. And I have read a few articles about how difficult it is, when you're playing, 72 holes, especially when you have a really, really low round, how difficult it is to back it up with another really low round. Yet that's the expectation that most people have. Rory, goes out and shoots, 63 or 62 in the first round of the Scottish Open, and everyone expected him to, or was it Justin Thomas? No, Justin Thomas did that, and everyone expected him to just like run away with it, and he didn't. But that's because it's incredibly difficult to back up a 62 or a 63 with a similar round.
Do you think that's partly because it resets your expectation so much that even if you start then playing just par golf, you feel like you're playing worse than you really are?
No, I just think it's golf. I don't. I don't think. Well, I don't know. Maybe it does. I've never shot 62. Well, I have for about 15 holes, but
that's so good.
I would. I don't know. I guess it depends on your perspective. Certainly, coming from the understanding that I've developed over the last 12 months, I wouldn't expect to, if I shot a fairly low round, a 65 or somewhere similar, I wouldn't expect to go out and do that the next day. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you're doing that more regularly, then it's a different story. But yeah, just that ability to, whether it be shooting a good round or shooting a really bad round, to be able to step on the first tee the next day and just wipe that from the memory and go, okay, new day, let's go out and accept however you play today.
I guess it's also linked to that, what we talked about previously, that every shot is an individual event. It's not a connected sequence. So what's happened before really doesn't have bearing on what's going to happen the next time, unless there's swing flaws that you're dealing with and some other issues. But, just because you played better than average or worse than average on the previous shot or the previous round, it has no bearing on what you're going to do on this particular round. But convincing your brain of that, Andy Walker, is extremely difficult.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Because the brain likes narratives and likes stories and processes information in that fashion. So it builds up all of these connections and stories that's going on that really don't exist. So anyway, the point that I make, though, is that I felt very good about the fact that I was able to get through that and have a more positive experience and post what was, in all honesty, I thought a pretty good round of golf. It could have been, with a couple of putts dropping, could have been a little bit better, but by the same token, with a couple of the longer putts that went in, they could easily have missed, and it could have been a couple of shots worse. So that's always golf. You remember the ones that don't quite drop, but you kind of take for granted the ones that do. I think in fairness, you've got to kind of look at both. And, that being said, at 83 on a windy day, I always feel, and I know you kind of use the marker, if you break 80, you feel like you've had a good day out. I used to feel if I break 85, I've had a decent day out. I feel like that metric's coming in a little bit now. So, maybe 83 is the number, that if I go better than that, it's good. If I hit that, it's okay. If I'm higher than that, probably it's a bit disappointing.
Yeah. See, and it's interesting because the last couple of rounds that I've had have been 278s. And yes, admittedly, I've been injured during those two rounds and pulled up pretty sore over the last few holes. But I've been pretty disappointed with those rounds after playing quite well through April and May. So
your number might be more like 75 now.
Yeah, and that's it. If I shoot over 75, I would expect, well, maybe not now. I think maybe the first few rounds when I come back, I'll have a different expectation, but I am going to be expecting to progress fairly rapidly given where I've come from earlier in the year. So there is going to be an expectation there, and whether that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, we'll have to wait and see.
It is tricky because, we're trying to get that outcome score out of the mind during the round. But obviously when you're processing it afterwards, and that's one of the things about golf, it is about, you've got to add all your shots up at some point and acknowledge that the number is what it is.
I also think when I had that expectation of if I break 80, I'm happy, where I'm at in my game and my understanding and my mental focus is very, very different to what I was, earlier in the year and late last year. So even though I haven't really played over the last couple of months, I'm still in a different mindset, and I'll take that and run with it over when I get back into playing and practicing. So yeah, I don't know. I think, well, I'm hoping that I'll get back into that sort of 70 to 75 range fairly quickly.
I'm sure you will. Could be first day out. Who knows? You might shoot a 65.
Unlikely, but could be. So here's a question for you. After the weekend and playing on Saturday, how now do you feel, and have you processed the previous round? And in your words, the ejection out of the cockpit, and how do you feel about that, and what have you learnt from it?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, because I think it was a different kind of an ejection to the traditional, really don't care and throw the toys out of the pram and do whatever. It was more of a subtle ejection.
Is there such a thing?
There is, and it's a bizarre one. It's hard to explain without experiencing it. And it was
it like slow-mo, like you're in.
No, it was actually quite the opposite of that, because it all happened so quickly. It was a bit like just being on the ropes and just getting absolutely smashed for 30 seconds and being in a bit of a daze, going, I don't even know what's going on. And the problem with it was that being a stroke event, there was just no way back, like in a stable.
And that late in the round as well.
Like there was, and at that point, and I think what was happening in honesty was I was still trying to come to terms with what had happened and not get angry, but at the same time finding it difficult to muster up a lot of not care factor, but like I knew I couldn't achieve anything. So I knew the round was gone. I knew the score was gone. And what it led to was, like a couple of times, there was one moment on the 16th hole, was par 5, which I'd hit my drive, kind of just leaked into the trees on the left, punched out, hit a 6-iron towards the green for my approach, missed the green left, and it was a left pin tucked on that little back peninsula. And where I might have, if I was really focused on posting a score, played a conservative sort of a lower bump and run style, I thought, well, now it's time to practice a bit of short game work that I don't get a chance to do. So I'll try the high flop. And I didn't thin it, but I didn't hit it flush, so it went too far and went over that piece of green and then chipped back on and got up and down. But it was just sort of. So
you didn't make the decisions that you would have made if you were having a good score. Is that what you're
pretty much? Yeah, I think it was just more a case of, probably tried a few shots that I ordinarily wouldn't try in comp. So it wasn't that cranky, sullen ejection. It was just I wasn't applying the focus and therefore wasn't as concerned about the score because I knew the score was gone. So I would try a few things that I didn't ordinarily try. Yeah. It's probably a more accurate description.
Because I have heard a few stories about Tiger and the way he used to deal with when he wasn't playing particularly well, that he would still even though he might have realised he's not going to win or he's not going to be top 10, but he will still set himself micro goals. So he'll have 4 or 5 holes to play, and he'll go, okay, well, I want to come home in 2 under. So he'll set micro goals, which will allow him to come off the course in a much better frame of mind than what he otherwise would have if he'd just completely let the score go.
Yeah. And I completely would agree with that. It's the right thing to do. I think the other things that were at play in that round was the severe coldness of the afternoon and the severe slowness of the play that just made it really hard to keep caring.
Yep.
None of that I would say is the right thing to do, but looking back on it, I can kind of understand it. And I've basically, sort of looked at that round now as 2 rounds and gone, it was a really good front 9. And the back 9, let's just forget about it. Move on.
So it was a round of 2 9s, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It was actually a round of 18 holes. But yeah. And the other thing is, I think there's going to be a day like that every so often. That hasn't happened for a long time. Probably won't happen for a long time. But when it does, I think you can get too focused on it and too caught up on it and too twisted into a pretzel about the negative. I'm happy to have gotten back out and had a decent round and got good golf back to where it needs to be.
Yep.
To be able to move on.
Fair enough.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just got to wipe the slate clean and move on, and not think about it too much. From what you said, and I know you used this quote maybe a month or so back, and I think it was a Mike Tyson quote, is that everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face, and it just sounds like over those few holes you were just punched in the face. You're on the canvas, and
it was a knockout.
Whether it be confusion or you just those last few holes seem a little bit of a...
They were a blur. And they legitimately were a blur. Like, I can barely even remember playing much of the golf on it, which is a bit interesting in its own right. But the other thing that happened, right, is that was only 3 holes. But by the end of the 3rd hole, it felt like it was the whole round. Like the hole... Not the golf hole, but the hole you're in feels so much deeper and bigger and wider than what it really is. There's a lesson in that for when you feel like things are going bad, they're potentially not as bad and as far off as what you think that they are. But having said
although in that round they probably were.
No, well, they were, because it was a stroke event. Like, if that was a Stableford event, you can come back from that. So it was, I would have made 1 point, I think, through those 3 holes, and that was 2 wipes and a 1 pointer. Like, that can happen in a round of golf. Like, that's fine.
And I mean, I guess you can isolate those 3 holes and go, well, you take those 3 holes out of the round, and it's not that bad.
Yeah. But it happens when you shoot 6 over on 1 hole and you're playing off 8. Pretty much screwed.
Yeah. So. I think I do remember doing that once in a stroke round. I think we may have been playing together when I didn't realise it was a stroke round.
Yeah, that was on the first. That was on the first. That was pretty funny. I'm like, Andy, what are you doing? Yeah.
Not sure it was funny, but may have been for the 3 blokes I was playing with. But I thought it was a Stableford and I had a wipe, so I hit the ball away. Oh, it's a stroke event. Good one.
Yeah. So anyway, it happens, but no, it was good to get back to decent golf. There was some decent ball striking out there. I would say this though, and this is probably the one lasting thing that comes out. Like, there's a lot to be happy about. My short game though is just nowhere near where it needs to be at the moment.
Yeah, right. Okay. But I mean, you haven't practiced it though, when we've talked about it, given it's, Southern Hemisphere winter, cold, dark days, not a lot of opportunity to get out and practice. So it's going to be understandable that the short game's not going to be as sharp as what it potentially could and should be. But, we talked about it last time. We're past the winter solstice now in the Southern Hemisphere. The days are getting longer. So we're now going to start ramping up. July is our coldest month of the year, so we're going to start moving into warmer weather and longer days. So, there's going to be opportunity to rectify that.
It is going to be the focus for this summer, for the spring and summer, because when we move into the autumn or the fall, if you prefer, that is when the New South Wales Senior Amateur is going to be on. And it is my commitment and desire to have my short game in shape and be reliable at that point. And it's come and gone over time, but at the moment, it just I don't have confidence, and that's the issue. That's the issue. So there's potentially a few technical things to do, but I don't think you can shy away from the fact that it needs time and it needs reps and it just needs the hours put in to get it where it needs to be. Yeah, if my ball striking keeps going in the direction that it's been going and I can get the short game in shape, then I feel like, sort of 4 or 5 is not out of the realms of possibility.
Not far away, yeah, fair enough.
So that's got to be the focus. That's where to from here.
Nice. Well, certainly for me, just getting the body right is where to from here. And I mentioned at the start of the show that I don't feel like I'm far away. I feel better than what I did a couple of days ago. So it's just a matter of keeping on, not pushing too hard, but I still want to. And what I've thought about is, short game and putting. I'm still able to do some short game and putting work. In fact, I've, having just been on holidays over the last week, first few days back, I've had to catch up a little bit, but Friday this week, I've got a little bit of time, so I'll probably go out and do some short game and putting. And then sort of mid next week, I don't have a lot on at this stage. It's as it's month end. So I'm looking forward to maybe getting out and doing a little bit more work on that. I might try and maybe even sneak in a couple of holes just to see how I go.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I did say that towards the end of the month, I'd try and play a couple holes just to see where I'm at. So we'll see where that is, and I may have something to report back next time we're on the mics.
That is exciting. Certainly look forward to it. I will not be getting any golf in this weekend, I don't think. It's a bit of family time is required. So
fair enough.
Kids now back at school for the new term, so that looks like being golf free. Might be a bit of practice. That'll be about it. But we'll see how we go. And one last thing, Andy Walker, we need to talk about is the yearly championship.
I feel like it's a foregone conclusion for July, but I'd like to hear of the standings to see where things are at, because I'm assuming I'm still in the lead for the bonus 4 points,
which does not get awarded until the end of the year, so you can't claim it yet because anything can happen.
I hadn't claimed it. I just said I was in the lead for it.
Well, yeah, if you want to go that far, you can certainly say that. So the month of July, I had 2 rounds of golf. The first one, which we have talked about ad nauseum, playing off 8.0 with a differential of 15.9, which was a lot worse, but obviously things get rounded down on particular holes, was a negative differential variance of 98.75%. Let's call that 99%. The most recent round, playing off 8.1, was, I've done the calculations based on what was on the scorecard for the slope and the course rating for the day. So course rating 70, slope of 124. That equates to a differential of 11.8, which is minus 46%, versus your no-shows, which means I win the month of July. That's 3 points.
Yep.
You fail to register a round is minus 1 point, Andy Walker.
Yep.
Tough rules. Which brings the yearly championship standings to 11 points to 9 in favour of Andy Walker. So there's next month, the month of August, could be a change of leader.
Could be. Could be. Wow, that's tight.
There's only 2 in it. So, you know what? After both of us whinging about the scoring system, it might actually finish close.
Look, and yeah, I don't remember whinging too much about it.
Yeah, you did. You whinged a huge amount.
I remember hearing some whinges about it, but
you were whinging about it in June. Is when you were whinging about it, really loudly too. It was quite frankly, it was hard to take. But anyway, that's fine.
I'll have to go back and listen to the episodes.
Yeah, check it out. So that is the go, Andy Walker. That's where we're up to. Onwards and upwards.
Let's crack on and see how we go next month.
I think so. Yeah, so that's about it. We will see you all. We'll see you all next month, i.e. next episode. And yeah, we've got some exciting stuff coming up over the next couple of episodes. So strap yourself in, pilgrims, and we'll see how we go. Andy Walker, it's been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun. One thing left to do.
Let's do it.
Rock out, pilgrims.
Thanks for listening to us today. For more content, you can find us on Facebook at The Missing Links Golf Show or on Instagram at Missing Links Golf. You can follow us on X or Twitter at TML Golf Show. You can email us directly via the Missing Links Golf Show at Gmail. You can even send us a text via the button in the show notes. We love to hear from our pilgrims, so please get in touch, or better yet, leave us a review on your podcasting platform of choice. See you next time on the Missing Links Golf Show.